Hello friends. What happens when two seemingly opposite personalities collide, the fiery Aries Snake and the sensitive Cancer Rooster? Can this unusual pairing build a lasting love story, or are they destined for constant struggle? To find out, let's take a deep dive into their compatibility in love, marriage, intimacy, friendship, business, their darker sides, and finally, their shared life goals. Love. At first glance, the relationship between an Aries Snake and a Cancer Rooster begins like a magnetic pull that neither can fully explain nor resist. It is a connection steeped in curiosity, fascination, and an almost mystical sense of recognition, as if they were drawn together by invisible threads of destiny. The Aries Snake enters the scene with an aura of mystery, an intoxicating charm that captures attention without even trying. There is a seductive glow around them, a natural elegance mixed with fiery Aries confidence, creating a personality that is both alluring and intimidating. The Cancer Rooster, in contrast, is not immediately flamboyant or overwhelming. Instead, they radiate a quiet strength, an aura of loyalty and dependability that promises security, warmth, and the type of emotional depth that goes far beyond surface-level attraction. When these two meet, it is as though fire has discovered water, not to extinguish it, but to test its resilience and reshape its flow. The Aries Snake is passionate by nature, guided by instinct and driven by a love of pursuit. They thrive on challenge, on the thrill of the chase, on the game of attraction where mystery and desire intertwine. To them, love is a battlefield, a journey, and a dance all at once. The Cancer Rooster, on the other hand, seeks emotional grounding. They are the keeper of the hearth, the guardian of intimacy, and the partner who quietly builds a foundation of trust brick by brick. While the snake dazzles with charm and intensity, the rooster yearns for reassurance, for promises that are not easily spoken but shown in consistent action. What draws them together is not similarity, but rather complementarity, the way one's strength fills the gap of the other's weakness. Yet the challenges are undeniable. Aries Snake, with its impulsive Aries fire and its secretive snake nature, often acts before thinking, chasing passion without pausing to consider the consequences. They live for the moment, for the next exciting turn, for the pulse of adrenaline that love can bring. The Cancer Rooster, by contrast, moves with deliberation. Every step they take is measured, every choice is weighed, every word is carefully considered. This difference can spark friction. The snake may view the rooster as overly cautious, even restrictive, while the rooster may see the snake as reckless, impatient, or evasive. The snake demands excitement, new experiences, and intensity. The rooster craves reliability, constancy, and emotional validation. But love is never built solely on ease. True compatibility often thrives on contrast, and it is in this very tension that Aries Snake and Cancer Rooster can discover a profound bond. The snake's natural charisma, the magnetic charm that few can resist, slowly begins to break down the protective armor that the rooster wears. For though the Cancer Rooster presents itself as disciplined and confident, beneath that structured exterior lies a heart that fears vulnerability. The snake has the power to coax out that vulnerability, to awaken passion and tenderness in the rooster that even they may not have realized was there. In return, the Cancer Rooster's steadfast loyalty and emotional consistency provide the snake with something they secretly crave but rarely admit: stability. The rooster becomes an anchor for the wandering heart of the snake, a grounding force that prevents them from drifting too far into the storms of desire. This love, then, becomes a paradox, a union of fire and water. Fire seeks to consume, to burn brightly, to devour everything in its path. Water seeks to soothe, to protect, to flow with patience. When fire and water collide, they can destroy each other. Fire evaporates water, water extinguishes fire. But when carefully balanced, they create steam, energy, movement, a force far greater than either could produce alone. So it is with Aries Snake and Cancer Rooster. Their love is dangerous in its intensity, volatile in its contrasts, but breathtaking in its potential. They ignite each other in ways no one else can, and though they may clash, their very differences create a rhythm, a dynamic dance that keeps the relationship alive. For the Aries Snake, love is never about half measures. They love with an intoxicating blend of passion and mystery, often weaving their partner into a world of intensity where every glance, every touch, every conversation feels charged with meaning. The Cancer Rooster responds with depth and devotion. Once they give their heart, it is not given lightly, nor can it easily be taken back. Their loyalty is fierce, and their emotions, though sometimes hidden behind pride or criticism, are as deep as the ocean. Together, this creates a romance that is both stormy and serene, a partnership filled with drama and devotion, passion and protection. Yet the path is not simple. Arguments will flare when the rooster demands clarity and the snake prefers secrecy. Tension arises when the rooster seeks reassurance but the snake offers only charm. And still, beneath these struggles lies a profound truth. Both crave love not as a casual affair, but as something transformative. For the Aries Snake, love is about growth, challenge, and constant renewal. For the Cancer Rooster, love is about security, legacy, and the creation of something lasting. Each offers the other what they lack, and if they can learn to embrace, not resist, their differences, they can create a love story that is as enduring as it is unforgettable. In the end, love between Aries Snake and Cancer Rooster is not about perfection, but about balance. It is not the calm, predictable love of easy compatibility, but the thrilling, dangerous, breathtaking love of opposites that somehow find harmony. It is fire tempered by water, water ignited by fire, a love that demands courage, patience, and vulnerability. And when these two souls embrace that challenge, their connection becomes nothing less than extraordinary. And now, a little side note. If you'd like to support the channel, there's a thanks button right under this video. Your support truly helps me keep creating. And of course, if you enjoy the content, please leave a like and subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. Thank you so much for being here. Now, let's continue. Marriage. In marriage, the relationship between Aries Snake and Cancer Rooster resembles a delicate performance on a tightrope, where every step must be measured, every move carefully balanced, and every gesture weighted with intention. The union is never something that happens effortlessly or by accident. It is crafted, nurtured, and sustained through a constant dance between freedom and responsibility. Aries Snake, driven by their innate love of independence and their refusal to be fully tamed, approaches marriage with both excitement and caution. For them, the idea of lifelong commitment is thrilling yet daunting, a promise that ignites passion but also sparks questions about personal space, individuality, and autonomy. Cancer Rooster, in contrast, sees marriage as a sacred bond, a foundation of loyalty and routine, a structured sanctuary where order, dependability, and tradition prevail. To the rooster, a marriage is not just a union of hearts but also of values, duties, and a shared vision of life built on discipline and mutual respect. When these two come together in matrimony, the dynamic is both challenging and transformative. Aries Snake brings into the marriage an element of fire and reinvention. They infuse the household with passion, unpredictability, and a sense of adventure. Their presence ensures that the relationship never stagnates, that there is always something new to discover, some fresh experience to chase, or some unexpected moment of intimacy to savor. Cancer Rooster, in turn, contributes reliability, structure, and a commitment to creating order out of chaos. They thrive on routines, on traditions that anchor the relationship, on steady habits that cultivate stability. For them, marriage is not a game of thrills but a serious, lifelong endeavor where dedication, honesty, and mutual support define the rules of engagement. Communication becomes the pillar upon which this marriage rests. Without honest dialogue, their differences turn into misunderstandings, and misunderstandings turn into resentment. The snake's secrecy, which often manifests as a desire to keep parts of themselves private, can frustrate the rooster, who demands transparency and clarity. The rooster's tendency to manage, critique, and sometimes control can feel suffocating to the snake, who craves space to breathe, dream, and express their individuality. If left unchecked, these tendencies can create invisible walls, with the snake withdrawing into silence and the rooster intensifying their criticism in search of answers. Yet, when they commit to open communication, when the snake shares their fears and desires honestly, and the rooster softens their perfectionism with compassion, the bond deepens into something unshakable. Power dynamics often surface in this union, and they are not always easy to navigate. Aries Snake is rebellious at heart, intolerant of authority, and naturally resistant to being told what to do. Cancer Rooster, meanwhile, has a natural inclination toward leadership in relationships, often slipping into the role of manager or director without even realizing it. They notice flaws quickly, demand high standards, and prefer to maintain control over domestic and relational matters. These opposing forces can ignite conflict, the snake bristling against perceived control, and the rooster growing frustrated by what they see as irresponsibility or lack of discipline. However, when these two stop competing for dominance and instead begin to share power, something remarkable occurs. The snake learns the value of structure, and the rooster discovers the freedom of flexibility. They evolve from adversaries into true partners, standing side by side rather than toe to toe. In their household, the contrasts between them create a unique harmony. Aries Snake may be the one who dreams big, who suggests spontaneous adventures, who pushes the family out of its comfort zone. Cancer Rooster, meanwhile, ensures that those dreams are achievable, that adventures are grounded in practical planning, that risks are balanced with caution. Together, they form a union where passion does not dissolve stability, and stability does not suffocate passion. Their home can become both a sanctuary of warmth and an engine of growth, a place where emotional intimacy thrives alongside strategic planning for the future. Still, the marriage will always test their patience. The snake must learn that commitment does not mean losing independence, and the rooster must understand that managing every detail is not the same as building a partnership. When these lessons are absorbed, the bond becomes not only sustainable but extraordinary. Their marriage transforms into a living symbol of balance, fire contained but not extinguished by water, water warmed but not boiled away by fire. It is in this equilibrium that Aries Snake and Cancer Rooster discover that their differences are not obstacles but complementary forces, each making the other stronger, more complete, and more deeply fulfilled. Ultimately, marriage for these two is not about avoiding conflict but about growing through it. Their union teaches them patience, compromise, and the art of balancing freedom with loyalty. When Aries Snake respects the rooster's need for stability, and when Cancer Rooster respects the snake's need for personal space, the marriage thrives. What begins as a tightrope act, fraught with risks and challenges, becomes a partnership of profound depth, where passion fuels devotion and structure sustains love. Over time, their bond may evolve into something unbreakable, not because it is free of struggle, but because it has endured struggle and emerged stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Sex. Their sexual chemistry is nothing short of electric, a force that seems to hum in the air between them from the very first moment physical attraction awakens. Aries Snake approaches intimacy with a natural sensuality, a confidence that borders on hypnotic, and a mysterious allure that keeps their partner constantly intrigued. There is something almost magnetic about the way the snake carries themselves in the realm of passion. Every touch feels deliberate, every glance holds unspoken promises, and every movement radiates a blend of dominance and finesse. Cancer Rooster, at first, appears more cautious, even reserved, hesitant to surrender fully to desire. But beneath that careful exterior lies a world of emotions and passions, hidden depths that few ever get to see. It is this contrast, one partner bold and enigmatic, the other protective but secretly yearning, that makes their sexual connection so unique. The snake thrives on intensity. For them, sex is not just a physical act but an exploration of desire, a game of seduction, and a proving ground where their charm and prowess take center stage. They are spontaneous, daring, and often eager to lead their partner into uncharted territory, craving the thrill of discovery and the satisfaction of conquest. Cancer Rooster, while initially more guarded, finds comfort and courage in the snake's confidence. Once trust is established, the rooster reveals a surprisingly bold and inventive side. They may not pursue risk for its own sake, but they are deeply imaginative and emotionally attuned. This sensitivity translates into a kind of passion that is not only physical but deeply soulful, making every encounter feel profound and transformative. Together, they create a rhythm in intimacy that is both fiery and tender, a dance of contrasts that somehow resolves into harmony. Aries Snake often initiates wild, passionate encounters, driven by instinct and the thrill of spontaneity. They know how to make the moment feel alive, urgent, and unforgettable. The Rooster, though less impulsive, adds layers of meaning and depth. They seek not just pleasure but connection, not just excitement but intimacy. In their presence, sex becomes more than a physical union, it transforms into an emotional dialogue, a shared language of vulnerability and trust. Where the snake brings passion, the rooster brings tenderness. Where the snake creates heat, the rooster provides depth. This balance ensures that their physical bond satisfies both body and soul. Few other couples can claim to merge such intensity with such emotional resonance. For the snake, the rooster provides a reminder that passion gains power when it is rooted in trust and affection. For the rooster, the snake is a liberator, showing them that it is safe to embrace desire, to explore fantasies, and to let go of restraint in the arms of someone who both excites and protects them. Their lovemaking becomes not just a momentary indulgence but a cornerstone of their relationship, strengthening their bond and reaffirming their commitment to each other. Yet, as in every area of their partnership, challenges may arise. The snake, with their appetite for novelty and thrill, may sometimes push for more experimentation or intensity than the rooster initially feels comfortable with. The rooster, valuing emotional stability and consistency, may grow uneasy with what they perceive as excess or unpredictability. If left unresolved, this dynamic can create tension, with the snake feeling restricted and the rooster feeling pressured. However, when they communicate openly about their needs and desires, these differences become opportunities for growth rather than obstacles. The snake learns patience, discovering the beauty of slower, more tender intimacy, while the rooster learns boldness, discovering the joy of taking risks in a safe and loving environment. Their sexual relationship is ultimately about balance and transformation. It is about turning opposites into complements, about creating an experience that is both thrilling and grounding. The snake ensures that passion never fades, that the flame of desire is always burning bright. The rooster ensures that intimacy is not hollow, that it carries meaning and builds a foundation of trust. Together, they cultivate a bond that goes beyond physical gratification and becomes a source of renewal for the entire relationship. Every encounter reminds them not only of their attraction but also of their deeper emotional connection, reinforcing the truth that their love is as much about the soul as it is about the body. In the end, their sexual connection mirrors the very essence of their relationship, a dance of fire and water, instinct and caution, intensity and tenderness. It is this dynamic tension that makes their intimacy unforgettable, that elevates it from ordinary to extraordinary. With every embrace, they reaffirm their ability to satisfy each other's needs in ways few others could. Their passion is not fleeting, it evolves, deepens, and strengthens with time, becoming one of the most powerful and enduring aspects of their union. Free AI scriptwriter and generator Skazel. Friendship. As friends, Aries Snake and Cancer Rooster form a bond that is both intriguing and complex, a friendship that thrives on contrasts while constantly being tested by them. From the very beginning, there is a spark of fascination. Aries Snake approaches friendship with an almost magnetic charisma, always ready to entertain, charm, and dive into adventures that others might hesitate to attempt. The snake's resourcefulness and wit make them a companion who can transform even the dullest moment into an opportunity for laughter, learning, or discovery. Cancer Rooster, however, enters the friendship from an entirely different perspective. They are practical, dependable, and serious about loyalty. To the rooster, a friend is not just someone to share good times with but a person who deserves protection, honesty, and a commitment that withstands the passage of time. This combination creates a dynamic that can feel exhilarating one moment and challenging the next, for these two view the essence of friendship through different lenses. The Aries Snake's adventurous spirit keeps the friendship lively. They are often the ones suggesting spontaneous trips, late-night conversations, or risky ideas that push boundaries. The snake loves novelty and thrives on experiences that keep life unpredictable. Cancer Rooster, in contrast, is far more grounded. They are the voice of reason, the steady hand that reins in the snake when excitement threatens to tip over into recklessness. They offer thoughtful advice, practical solutions, and a perspective that often prevents the snake from making impulsive mistakes. In this way, they balance each other. The snake ensures the friendship never stagnates, while the rooster ensures it never derails. But friendship is never without its storms, and for these two, tension is inevitable. The snake, with its secretive and sometimes elusive nature, may appear to the rooster as unreliable or even deceptive. The rooster values transparency and honesty, and their sharp eyes quickly notice when something feels hidden or unclear. This can lead to frustration, as the rooster may interpret the snake's need for privacy as a lack of trust. On the other hand, the snake often views the rooster as overly critical. The rooster's tendency to point out flaws, offer unsolicited advice, or demand higher standards can feel suffocating to a personality that thrives on freedom and spontaneity. These clashes can create moments of silence, withdrawal, or even sharp disagreements. Yet, beneath the friction lies a powerful opportunity for growth. When they focus on shared interests, such as art, business, or personal development, the friendship flourishes. The snake's creativity and flair for innovation pair beautifully with the rooster's diligence and discipline. Together, they can build projects, share intellectual pursuits, or simply enjoy hobbies that stimulate both the imagination and the intellect. In these moments, their differences transform into strengths. The snake teaches the rooster the importance of loosening up, of finding joy in the moment, of not letting perfectionism rob life of spontaneity. The rooster, in turn, teaches the snake the value of responsibility, of discipline, and of seeing commitments through to the end. Their friendship, therefore, becomes a school of life for both. The snake learns that freedom is more fulfilling when balanced with accountability, and the rooster learns that structure is more meaningful when balanced with joy. They may not always agree, and they may challenge each other more than most friends would, but this very dynamic makes their bond rich and transformative. When both embrace patience and tolerance, their connection becomes not only lasting but deeply rewarding. What makes this friendship especially unique is the emotional exchange that occurs quietly beneath the surface. The rooster, though often outwardly critical, harbors a deep sense of care for those they allow into their inner circle. The snake, while seemingly detached at times, is far more loyal than appearances suggest. When trust is truly established, the snake proves to be a fiercely protective and devoted friend, willing to stand by the rooster in times of need. This loyalty, combined with the rooster's unwavering dependability, creates a foundation that can withstand even the harshest tests of time. Ultimately, the friendship between Aries Snake and Cancer Rooster is not about smooth harmony but about the balance of opposites. It is a connection that challenges both to grow, to stretch beyond their comfort zones, and to embrace perspectives they might otherwise resist. Though they may clash, argue, or frustrate one another, they also inspire, uplift, and balance each other in ways few other friendships could. Together, they create a bond that is mutually enriching, a relationship where laughter, growth, loyalty, and discovery intertwine into something that feels both exciting and enduring. Business. Now, imagine Aries Snake and Cancer Rooster stepping into the world of business together, their personalities colliding and blending in ways that could either create a powerhouse partnership or an explosive battlefield. From the very beginning, it's clear that both bring unique qualities to the table. Aries Snake thrives on charisma, strategy, and a fearless appetite for risk. They are the type who walks into a room and instantly commands attention, not only because of their charm but also because of their ability to see opportunities where others only see obstacles. To them, business is not just about profit but also about vision, about the art of persuasion, and about bending circumstances in their favor. Cancer Rooster, on the other hand, brings something entirely different yet equally valuable: organization, discipline, and an unshakable eye for detail. Where the snake may leap boldly into an idea, the rooster carefully analyzes, organizes, and polishes it until it's bulletproof. Together, these qualities create a dynamic partnership that is both daring and dependable. Aries Snake is the natural visionary of the duo, the one who dreams big, sketches bold strategies, and dares to imagine what others are too afraid to attempt. They think in broad strokes, weaving possibilities and strategies with ease, and their charisma makes it easy to convince others to buy into the vision. Cancer Rooster, however, grounds those visions. They are the ones who build the scaffolding, the structure, and the systems that ensure dreams do not collapse under their own weight. They are meticulous, sometimes to the point of obsession, double-checking every contract, every figure, and every logistical detail. Where the snake might overlook practicalities in the rush of ambition, the rooster steps in with precision and order. The combination of these two energies can lead to enormous success. The snake injects creativity, daring, and charm, ensuring the business is never stagnant and always ahead of the curve. The rooster provides the operational backbone, the routines, and the quality control that prevent mistakes and elevate standards. Together, they have the rare ability to balance innovation with execution, one dreaming up what could be, the other ensuring that what should be is done correctly. This yin-yang dynamic makes them especially strong in industries where creativity must meet discipline, marketing, where bold campaigns need flawless execution, fashion, where vision must be supported by detail, consulting, where persuasion must be paired with structure, real estate, where bold risks must be measured against market realities, and the broader creative industries, where artistry and logistics must intertwine. But while their partnership has incredible potential, it is not without friction. Aries Snake despises being controlled. Their independence and rebellious streak make them resistant to authority, and they bristle when someone, even a trusted partner, questions their judgment. Cancer Rooster, however, cannot resist pointing out flaws. Their sharp eye spots imperfections quickly, and their natural tendency to critique can feel like micromanagement. This is where the biggest challenge lies. The snake perceives criticism as an attack on their freedom, while the rooster sees it as a necessary step toward perfection. Without balance, this dynamic can spiral into ego clashes, power struggles, and heated disputes that threaten to unravel everything they've built. The key to overcoming these challenges lies in role division. If the snake is allowed to fully inhabit the role of visionary, dreaming, strategizing, and persuading, while the rooster takes on the mantle of executor, planning, organizing, and implementing, their strengths no longer clash but complement each other. In this arrangement, both are respected for what they do best, and neither feels undermined. The snake shines as the face of the venture, drawing people in, making connections, and sparking excitement, while the rooster ensures that behind the curtain, everything runs flawlessly, deadlines are met, and standards remain impeccable. When they manage to achieve this balance, their business becomes unstoppable. The snake's persuasive power ensures deals are struck, opportunities are seized, and competitors are kept off balance. The rooster's thoroughness guarantees that promises are delivered, clients are satisfied, and long-term trust is established. This combination of boldness and reliability is rare, and it makes their ventures not only innovative but also sustainable. Customers, clients, and partners come to see them as a team that can dream big but also deliver consistently, a reputation that, in business, is priceless. Yet, even with this harmony, they must always guard against their darker tendencies. The snake, with their charm and love of risk, may sometimes push too far, gambling with resources or making promises that are difficult to keep. The rooster, with their perfectionism, may sometimes slow progress with endless revisions, critiques, and demands for order. If unchecked, the snake could drag them into reckless ventures, while the rooster could smother innovation under a mountain of rules. The sweet spot lies in compromise, the snake learning to value the rooster's structure, and the rooster learning to trust the snake's instincts. Ultimately, business for Aries Snake and Cancer Rooster is more than just a professional partnership. It becomes a crucible where their personalities are tested, refined, and strengthened. They learn not only how to combine vision with discipline but also how to navigate the delicate dance of power, respect, and collaboration. When they succeed, they create enterprises that are bold yet grounded, dazzling yet practical, innovative yet enduring. Their partnership becomes a model of how opposites, when balanced, can create something greater than either could alone. Dark sides. Every relationship carries shadows, and for Aries Snake and Cancer Rooster, those shadows are not light or fleeting. They are deep, persistent, and capable of reshaping the entire dynamic if ignored. These darker tendencies don't appear immediately. At the start, passion and fascination easily mask them, but with time, when comfort replaces novelty and daily life sets in, these sides of their personalities begin to surface. It is at this moment that the strength of their bond is tested, because love is not only about celebrating the light but also about learning to live with the dark. For Aries Snake, the darker traits run like currents beneath their charming and magnetic surface. Jealousy is one of their strongest shadows. Though they appear independent and confident, the snake's possessive nature can quietly slip in, making them suspicious of their partner's attention and loyalty. What makes this jealousy even more challenging is its subtlety. It often hides under jokes, veiled comments, or sudden changes in behavior. Their secrecy only amplifies this trait. Instead of voicing their fears openly, the snake tends to withdraw, keeping emotions locked behind a mysterious facade. They may retreat into silence or create a wall that their partner cannot easily penetrate. This secrecy, born from the desire to maintain control and avoid vulnerability, can become one of the biggest threats to the relationship. On darker days, the snake's intelligence and charm turn into tools of manipulation. They can twist conversations, mask their true feelings, and steer situations toward their advantage, leaving the rooster confused or even emotionally cornered. Cancer Rooster has their own shadows, equally powerful and equally dangerous to the health of the bond. Their eye for detail, which can elevate any partnership to greatness, becomes in darker moments a relentless obsession with flaws. The rooster sees every imperfection, and once they notice it, they cannot let it go. Their critiques, often meant as helpful, become sharp and constant, wearing down their partner's spirit. What they believe is constructive can feel to the snake like suffocating disapproval, a steady drumbeat of "not enough." Their natural leadership inclines them toward control, and this control, when unchecked, transforms into dominance. They can insist on having the final say, on managing every detail, and on shaping the relationship according to their own rigid standards. To the free-spirited snake, this feels like a cage, an intolerable confinement of their independence. Emotionally, the rooster can be demanding in ways that the snake struggles to meet. They long for reassurance, loyalty, and proof of devotion. When these needs are unmet, the rooster may resort to guilt, emotional pressure, or dramatic displays designed to draw attention to their hurt. The rooster's pride, too, complicates matters. They can struggle to admit when they are wrong, making conflicts drag on far longer than necessary. To the snake, this emotional intensity can feel overwhelming, like drowning in a flood of expectations. When conflicts arise, these shadows collide in destructive patterns. The snake, unwilling to be controlled, may withdraw completely, creating emotional distance that feels cold and punishing. At other times, they lash out with sharp, cutting words designed to wound. The rooster, in turn, responds with criticism, nagging, or guilt-tripping, desperate to pull their partner back into alignment. The more the snake withdraws, the more the rooster pushes. The more the rooster criticizes, the more the snake hides or manipulates. This vicious cycle feeds itself, growing stronger with every repetition, and if neither breaks it, the relationship risks becoming toxic. Yet, as dark as these shadows are, they are not impossible to manage. They are signals, warnings of what happens when love is left unattended. The key lies in mutual respect, a conscious effort to see each other not as enemies in conflict but as partners struggling to bridge differences. The snake must learn to let go of secrecy and manipulation, realizing that vulnerability does not equal weakness. Honesty, even when uncomfortable, builds trust far more effectively than silence. They must resist the temptation to control through charm and instead offer genuine openness. The rooster must soften their perfectionism, understanding that love is not about flawless execution but about acceptance. Criticism must give way to encouragement, and control must yield to partnership. When these lessons are embraced, the shadows transform from destructive forces into opportunities for growth. The snake, learning transparency, finds deeper intimacy than they thought possible. The rooster, softening criticism with compassion, discovers that love flourishes more when nurtured than when controlled. Their bond becomes not weaker for having faced these shadows, but stronger, forged in the fire of conflict and tempered by understanding. But without this conscious effort, the opposite occurs. Passion turns into resentment. The snake feels caged, the rooster feels abandoned. The very traits that once drew them together, the snake's mystery and the rooster's discipline, become sources of pain. What was once an intoxicating dance of opposites becomes a battlefield where both feel misunderstood and unappreciated. Their relationship risks collapse under the weight of unaddressed shadows. In the end, the dark sides of Aries Snake and Cancer Rooster are both a danger and a gift. They reveal the cracks in the foundation, the places where growth is needed. They remind both partners that love is not sustained by passion alone but by the courage to face uncomfortable truths. If they meet these shadows with honesty, respect, and compassion, they emerge with a relationship that is not only passionate but unshakable. If they ignore them, the fire and water that once balanced so beautifully can consume each other, leaving only ashes. Life goals. What do Aries Snake and Cancer Rooster ultimately want in life? At first glance, their visions could not appear more different, almost as though they are heading in opposite directions along the same road. Aries Snake, fueled by fiery Aries energy and the deep, mysterious wisdom of the snake, longs for transformation, personal freedom, and experiences that awaken every cell of their being. Life, to them, is not meant to be lived in predictable routines or carefully drawn maps. It is meant to be explored, conquered, and reinvented over and over again. They seek reinvention the way others seek stability. Each phase of their existence must feel fresh, alive, and full of possibilities. For Aries Snake, life is a stage on which they must leave their mark, a canvas where every brushstroke must speak of courage, creativity, and unforgettable experiences. They want to be remembered not for quietly following tradition, but for boldly reshaping it, for bringing something new into the world that carries their unmistakable imprint. Cancer Rooster, by contrast, approaches life with an entirely different compass. Their dreams are grounded, deliberate, and focused on security and legacy. They are not drawn to constant change but to building something that lasts, something that can withstand time and serve as a testament to their hard work and loyalty. Family, tradition, and recognition form the pillars of their ambition. They want to establish a foundation strong enough to shelter not only themselves but also the people they love. While the snake craves transformation, the rooster craves permanence. While the snake thrives on risk, the rooster finds satisfaction in consistency. For them, a meaningful life is not about chasing the horizon but about planting roots so deep they continue to nourish generations to come. On the surface, these goals seem irreconcilable. One dreams of freedom and adventure, the other dreams of structure and stability. Yet the beauty of their union lies in the way these seemingly opposing desires can, with patience and respect, complement each other. Aries Snake, left to their own devices, may sometimes burn out, constantly chasing the next thrill without pausing to reflect or preserve what has been achieved. Cancer Rooster, on their own, may risk stagnation, clinging so tightly to routines and responsibilities that they miss opportunities for growth and change. Together, however, they form a balance. The snake pushes the couple into new horizons, while the rooster ensures that every step forward is sustainable and meaningful. This dynamic creates a life path that is adventurous yet secure, passionate yet purposeful. The snake ensures that their shared story is never dull, that there is always growth, transformation, and movement towards something greater. The rooster ensures that the story has coherence, that it is not scattered fragments of excitement but a narrative with depth, stability, and enduring value. The snake keeps the rooster from becoming too rigid, too afraid of change, too confined by order. The rooster keeps the snake from flying too close to the sun, from gambling away their security in pursuit of fleeting thrills. In this way, their goals, though different in language, are aligned in spirit. Both seek meaning, both crave fulfillment, and both desire to leave a legacy. Only their definitions of legacy differ. For Aries Snake, legacy means the memories they create, the transformations they spark, the daring adventures that inspire others to live more boldly. It is about showing the world that life is meant to be lived with intensity, that reinvention is not weakness but strength. For Cancer Rooster, legacy means the tangible results of hard work, a strong family, a respected name, a life built with integrity and discipline. It is about leaving behind something that others can depend on, a structure that proves effort and loyalty are never in vain. When these two visions are woven together, the result is a legacy that is both dynamic and enduring, a life that inspires with its passion but comforts with its stability. The road toward fulfilling these life goals is not without obstacles. There will be moments when the snake feels confined by the rooster's emphasis on responsibility, when freedom feels compromised by duty. There will also be moments when the rooster feels destabilized by the snake's craving for change, when their carefully laid plans are disrupted by spontaneity. These tensions are natural, but they need not be destructive. They are reminders that balance is an ongoing process, a constant negotiation between adventure and security. If they approach these moments with respect, if the snake learns to value the rooster's grounding influence and the rooster learns to trust the snake's adventurous vision, then their life goals not only coexist but actually strengthen each other. In the end, Aries Snake and Cancer Rooster teach each other profound lessons about the nature of fulfillment. The snake learns that freedom without stability can lead to emptiness, that true transformation is only meaningful when rooted in purpose. The rooster learns that stability without growth can lead to stagnation, that true security is found not in resisting change but in embracing it wisely. Together, they build a life that carries both adventure and safety, both passion and discipline, both dreams of flight and roots that hold firm. What they ultimately want in life is not as different as it first appears. Both want to matter, to create meaning, to leave behind a story that others will remember. The snake's fire ensures that story is vibrant and daring. The rooster's steadiness ensures that story endures. Their shared life goals, when woven together, create a vision of existence that is as breathtaking as it is lasting. A life that feels alive in every moment and yet leaves behind something solid, something permanent, something that proves their journey was not only bold but also worthwhile. Final thoughts. So, are Aries Snake and Cancer Rooster truly compatible? The answer is not a simple yes or no, because this relationship is a living paradox, full of contradictions that can both enrich and endanger the bond. On one hand, their connection requires extraordinary patience, ongoing compromise, and an almost intuitive level of understanding. On the other, when those efforts are embraced, their union becomes rare, transformative, and unforgettable. What sets them apart from many other pairings is that they cannot coast on autopilot. There are no shortcuts, no effortless paths. Every step demands awareness, every decision requires mutual respect. This is not a relationship where one can sleepwalk through love. It is a relationship where both must stay awake, engaged, and willing to evolve. Aries Snake must respect Cancer Rooster's need for structure, recognizing that discipline, loyalty, and routine are not cages but forms of devotion. The rooster's love expresses itself through building, protecting, and ensuring continuity. If the snake fails to appreciate this, they will misinterpret stability as restriction, and resentment will bloom. At the same time, Cancer Rooster must accept the snake's restless desire for freedom. This freedom is not rejection. It is the snake's way of feeling alive, of constantly shedding old skin and embracing new horizons. If the rooster fails to honor this need, they will mistake growth for betrayal, and criticism will poison intimacy. Their compatibility depends entirely on their ability to transform differences into strengths rather than weaknesses. When they succeed in this balancing act, the rewards are breathtaking. They create a love that is not ordinary but rare, almost alchemical, a fusion of fire and water, passion and devotion, freedom and loyalty. This bond is not about simply enduring life together. It is about thriving, about learning from one another, and about discovering that opposites can not only attract but also evolve into something stronger than either could achieve alone. The snake teaches the rooster the art of transformation, showing that reinvention is not a threat but an opportunity. The rooster teaches the snake the art of permanence, showing that stability is not stagnation but strength. Together, they become a partnership that is simultaneously daring and dependable, rooted and yet unafraid to soar. The challenges they face are real and cannot be ignored. Power struggles, emotional clashes, and conflicting needs are all part of the equation. But it is precisely through these struggles that their love deepens. Their conflicts force them to confront themselves, to ask hard questions, and to grow in ways they might never have grown alone. The snake learns vulnerability through the rooster's insistence on honesty. The rooster learns flexibility through the snake's insistence on freedom. What could have been obstacles become teachers. What could have been breaking points become turning points. Ultimately, Aries Snake and Cancer Rooster are not compatible in the conventional sense. They are not the couple who fits together seamlessly, with matching rhythms and predictable harmony. Instead, they are compatible in a deeper, more profound sense. They challenge each other to expand, to stretch beyond comfort zones, to embrace both light and shadow. Their compatibility is forged not in ease but in effort, not in similarity but in the courage to navigate difference. That is why, when their relationship works, it feels extraordinary, because it has been earned, not given. Final compatibility between Aries Snake and Cancer Rooster rests on choice. They must choose to see one another not as adversaries but as complements, not as threats but as allies. They must choose, again and again, to respect, to forgive, and to grow. Love, for them, is not a static state but a dynamic journey. When they embrace that journey, their bond becomes a powerful blend of mystery and stability, adventure and tradition, transformation and legacy. In each other, they discover not only a partner but also a mirror, a teacher, and, ultimately, a home. Their story reminds us of something essential. True love is not always easy, but the difficulty is what gives it depth. Aries Snake and Cancer Rooster prove that even the most unlikely pairings can flourish when built on patience, respect, and a shared commitment to growth. Their love, when nurtured, is not just about surviving life side by side. It is about thriving as two distinct yet intertwined souls who, despite their differences, manage to find belonging in one another. And that, perhaps, is the rarest compatibility of all.